Cook, and thank you for joining me tonight. And this is Cook Cryptid Research, brought to you by Cryptid Gear, the equipment you need to go out chasing legends. So, what are we talking about tonight? We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff, actually. And as you can see, I'm set up here. I've got a computer over here, and I got a laptop over here. And there's a good reason for that, because we have a special guest join us all the way from California. And that I'll reveal that to you here in a minute. Now, a lot of people are wondering what's going on. I'm starting to be a little bit more mysterious, and this is true. This is very true. And there's good reason for that, actually. It's because it's none of your business. That's actually true. It's really none of nobody's business. I'm not releasing any information right now, and it's actually very, very stress relieving to not be berated with the constant questions. So I'm just berated with the regular questions of what are you up to. So I'm currently not doing any interviews due to personal reasons. I'm doing this YouTube show now, and I hope that it'll get plenty of viewers. So I know the ones that have subscribed already, thank you all so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please go down the bottom of this right here. It's going to be 2 or 3 inches below this, and you'll see a little subscribe button, and go ahead and click subscribe and see whenever I post a video. So what are we going to talk about tonight? We're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We're going to talk about conspiracy theories, and not really a conspiracy theory, actually a mystery in its own that did happen, and I'll have the dates for you here in a minute, and all that stuff. I was told by our special guest to give her around 10 more minutes, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to keep you all 10 more minutes, but we're going to try to run this out as long as we can. But the first mystery, well, not the first mystery of the night. The first mystery of the night is going to be right here, talking to our guest. Then we're going to talk about D.B. Cooper, and then we're going to jump back over on Bigfoot. So, and this is just the beginning of it, folks. I'll have all kinds of information for you all coming up, and plenty of shows. I'm going to try to do at least one show a week, and include some of my research and everything. And I'm actually going to sit down here one day when I have about an hour and a half, and I'm going to actually go through my current Bigfoot seminar presentation and show you all that, so you can watch that at home and not have to travel to see it. So while we're waiting on our guest, don't forget that this Saturday, April 22nd, there is a Paramountain lecture series going on in Harlan County, Kentucky, and you can come down and meet me and check out Cook Cryptid Research and Cryptid Gear. You can check out Catherine Kaufman. She's a psychic medium out of Lexington, Kentucky. You can listen to all kinds of speakers, ranging from subjects such as meludgeons and ghosts and mysteries in the Cumberland Gap and hidden histories, and even Bigfoot. There's a lecturer there that's going to be Thomas Markham, is a good friend of mine. He's going to be talking about Bigfoot. And I will be talking about Bigfoot and other cryptids at the June Paramountain Lecture Series, and that will be at the Pine Mountain State Park Lodge. So, fun times, busy year. But that is April 22nd, this Saturday, and it starts at 10 a.m. and runs all the way up to 6 p.m. And Tony Filosi from Interviews from Beyond is going to be doing a ghost walk downtown Harlan and talking about all kinds of spooky stuff, and actually some pretty fascinating historic information regarding the downtown Harlan area. A lot of stuff happened down there. So I'm excited about this. I truly am. I'm ready to do this and meet everybody. I've got so much stuff to show and give, and it's going to be great. I'll have T-shirts available, all from medium all the way up to 3X, limited numbers, of course, but you know, that's how this is. And I just messaged our guest to see if she is ready. She will be popping on just a second. So what else is going on? I'm fascinated with what's going on Saturday, because I don't know a whole lot as far as paranormal and all these other um, abnormal things that go on in the mountains. I'm from the mountains. Originally from Harlan County, Kentucky, down in the southeastern part of Kentucky. Beautiful town. Love it down there. I'm actually, I started to say I'm actually going down there this weekend, but you already know that. So, this is uncut, by the way, and unfiltered. I'm not editing anything out of this. This is going to be just like my Facebook Live feeds, where I just go on and on and on, and we'll see what we get them up with. So, somebody asked me the other day if I was going to talk about D.B. Cooper, and I said, yeah, I find the whole D.B. Cooper incident very fascinating, and I have a huge theory on it, and you all are probably going to laugh at me, and I know that they said that the D.B. Cooper case was closed last year, that there was no way he could have survived that. Well, there is, actually, and I'll let you in on that here in just a little bit. So, I think she is getting about ready. And first off, though, where did this take place? This took place in an undisclosed location in California. I am not at liberty to say where this was at. I do know where it was at, but like I said again, I'm not at liberty to say where. So, with that being said, it was in the mountains of California, and if you look at California, California is a mountainous state. So, we I'm sorry, I'm looking at something right now. We're gonna check and see how many sightings have happened this year. Where she is at. So, hope those of you all who are watching don't close out the window while I'm doing this. I can't seem to find sighting reports from this year. There's been several sighting reports actually this year. I've gotten a few myself. I got one about a month ago. Warmer weather started hitting here in Kentucky. A man and his son actually witnessed a Bigfoot cross a field in front of them. They were working in the field, in the hayfield and stuff, and they watched a Bigfoot cross the field in front of them, run over in the tree line. The whole encounter lasted maybe 20 seconds at most. They were both in disbelief they were both in disbelief of what actually happened. So, oh yeah, if you all have a sighting to report, all you gotta do is go on Cryptid Research, go up to the top at the Facebook page and hit message, and send me a quick message, and I will get back to you ASAP, and I will do a follow-up with you all. So we're currently waiting on our guest. She should be here in just a few minutes. She is going to be coming in live and in color on this screen over here. So, oh yeah, if anybody has any questions also that you would like answered about tonight's broadcast, just go on the comments section of this video and post them, and I will check them periodically, and I will answer them to the best of my knowledge. Kentucky is actually pretty weird as far as Bigfoot sightings go. We have a few months in the spring, from mid-February to around late May, we'll have a spike in sightings. From late May to the end of August, we don't. And I think it has to do with the heat. And it looks like our guest is ready, and we'll get back to this in just a few minutes. So we're going to go ahead and make the call and bring you all in closer so you can see her pretty face. I can't hear you, Claudia. There you are. Hey, Claudia, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am fantastic, honey. How's the weather out there?
You know what? I'm right in front of the air conditioner, as you can see, because it's really warm. It's beautiful.
Awesome.
We're in the mountains right now, just having a lazy day. Life is good.
Awesome. Yeah, it was probably around 80.
Okay?
Huh?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Awesome. So, Claudia, if you want to give us a rundown on what happened a couple of weeks ago to you and your two daughters.
I want to tell you at the beginning, this is kind of unusual, but like we've been up here, and for some reason my GPS on my phone kept directing me to this end of a trail 5 times, and I'm like, oh, how cool! This is a place that's down the cabin. We can hike up there. So 5 times, I mean, one time it was at night, and I was by myself in the car, and I remember turning around, being all freaked out and scared. But then I felt like something was you know what, I'm gonna check this area out. You know, it's really woodsy and stuff, and it's also blocked. There's a fence that's blocking. You can't drive in the road. So I told Ed one day, Ed Brown, come with me, let's go out there. So we went, and we noticed 3 trees that have been blocking the path, a human path, not a car driving path. And we had a good time. Nothing happened. We didn't really hear anything. Didn't see a lot of squatchy stuff. No X markers. It was very unusual, and we had a great time. You know, one day I came home with my daughters. I made dinner. I cleaned up dinner, and then I said, "You guys want to go for a hike?" And they're like, "Yeah, let's do it." So before I went there, I wanted to tell you that I told them there's a couple of rules that you have to listen to me about. I told them if I tell you turn around, hold hands, and run, don't look back. You have to listen to me. If I tell you walk slowly back to the car, you have to listen. I gave them all these rules. And what I did is because they've never been out in the woods before, really not very much. So what I did is I turned my car around. I left my car door open. And recently a neighbor of ours came up to me and she said, have you been hiking? I said, yeah, I went to Old Toll Road, and that's the name of the trail. And I said, she said, well, be really careful. There's a lot of mountain lions there. Like somebody was attacked with a mountain lion. So that was in the back of my mind. So what I did is I grabbed like the bear spray, my cell phone. I put a lighter with a Ziploc bag inside my pocket in case we have to build a fire for some reason, you know. I was thinking safety for my daughters. And we went, and it was it was around 6 o'clock at night. You know, it gets dark here around 7. So I just said, we only have an hour to explore. So we have to be back before it gets dark. So Ed was here just relaxing. He just got home from work. So I took my daughters, and we were having a great time. I took my little dog. That's Precious right there. But we started walking down the trail, and I was showing them, like, these trees have been pushed down. It can be done, like, naturally. It can be, like, the snow. But one was natural. Like, one was very healthy that was, like, kind of pushed down. And they're all leaning towards the same direction. Like, if something went on the same side and pushed the trees down, which was unusual to me. But then I have to tell myself, like, not everything is Sasquatch. Like, stop. Like, I have to stop myself. So, my daughter, the youngest, was in front of me, and then my middle one was, like, in the middle, and I was in the back because I felt like if a mountain lion came, get me first before my daughters. And so at this point, my daughter walks through the third, like, the tree blockage, and there's, like, a curve. So she's walking in front, and she stops and just stares. It's, like, intently stops and stares. And then my other daughter comes next to her, and she stops and stares. And then I start noticing something like, okay, they're looking at something, like, and then I thought in my head, like, oh, shoot, like, it's going to be a bear or something. They're seeing something. So at that point, what happened was I walked in front of all of them, and then right away, like, my youngest one, turns around and says, my daughter says, it's time to go back to the car, Mom. It's time. So she was really panicked. And she turned around and started walking away back to the car. And at that point, it was just my older, I said, hold on, like, wait a second. At that point, my oldest daughter and I were staring at it. And then right away, I see this face looking at me. And I mean, the head was enormous. Like, if you asked me if I thought it was male or female, to me, it looked like a male Sasquatch. And I saw it, and it was just staring at me with, like, a straight, like, no expression on its face, just looking at me. And right away, I didn't know my daughter was videotaping. I thought that in a minute, like, let me take pictures, and then I said, oh no, like, if I get it mad, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. Like, I can't afford for my daughters to get hurt. So what happened was, I started making some whoop calls, and then it just, it looked at me, and then my daughter, I guess at that point, behind me, started videotaping for just like 15 seconds. It was something small. And then what I did is I said, hi, like, I see you, and I said, thank you for letting me be here in your home. I said, I come in peace, and at that point, I raised my hand up, like, saying, I'm coming in peace, like, because I've always been told that they know that we can kill from a distance. That was in my head, like, and at that point, when I said become in peace, it started rocking, like, left and right, back and forth. And then I knew for a moment before, like, we all saw everything, I asked my daughter, like, do you see it by the tree? And she said, yes, like, she saw it. So what happened was, as it started rocking back and forth, that's when I said, oh, shoot, like, we gotta go. Like, I can't take a chance of my daughters being hurt. And to be honest with you, if my daughters weren't there, I would have sat there and just watched it. Like, I was fascinated. I wasn't afraid at all. Like, no fear. Maybe because I was just staying still, like, I'm being realistic. Like, maybe if it started moving, like, down from the tree or something, I would have, like, oh, shoot, I gotta go. Like, but since it was standing still looking at me very curiously, I felt it was very compelling, My daughter kept screaming at me, Mom, over and over and over again. At that point, we turned around, and I said, okay, let's slowly walk back to the car. So we walked back to the car. I kept looking behind me to see if I could hear anything. On the side of one mountain, it's like a wall. So I had them, like, standing by, walking towards the wall, so nothing can catch them or grab them. And I just kept looking behind me the whole time. And when we got in the car, like, I said, like, what did you guys see? And then my daughter said, like, Mom, she said, I have no idea what I just saw. And that happened to me. When you first see a Sasquatch, you're really not understanding what you're seeing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
as being in this, like, community, like, I right away, since my second sighting, I knew what I was looking at. It was easy for me. But for them, they're kids, they're scared. My little daughter said, oh, I saw 2 of them running towards the big one. And I said, well, what did you see? And she said, I just saw its feet, like 2 feet running. And so she saw there was a total of 3, supposedly, from what my daughter said. A lot of people in the video have said that they've seen 3 in the video. I don't see 3. I just saw 1.
Now,
And,
I'll watch the video.
it was very compelling. Huh?
I watched the video, and I've watched it a couple of times. The last time was just a few minutes ago before we started this video. Um, I saw it rocking there toward the end before the
Yeah, it
video.
started. Yeah.
Yeah, and that is actually a very common trait in predatory behavior. Actually, it's trying to get a bead on you. Kind of,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. Me and Ed actually talked about that in extent one day. Um, so overall, I mean, with your sighting and everything, you had your sightings a few years ago that has been well documented uh, around the internet and the Bigfoot community also. Um,
Yeah.
just real quick, those of you all that don't or that aren't familiar with Claudia, I don't know who in the Bigfoot world wouldn't be familiar with Claudia, but um, I value Claudia as a very good friend of mine and love her to death and
I
love
mean,
everybody that's around her also. But what happened a couple of years ago and that actually propelled the Claudia Ackley name into the Bigfoot community, that famous video that's been a subject of debate really on exactly because conflicting stories from the several people that was there have caused confusion. So metaphorically speaking, straight out of the horse's mouth, what exactly happened that day?
well, that day I was new in the Bigfoot world. Like I didn't know, I didn't have a Facebook account. I was just this girl like watching YouTube Sasquatch videos. In 97 or 96, I was in Yosemite National Falls with two of my friends, my roommates actually, and we were in a tent and we heard this growl next to our tent and there was like no one around. Like we were dry camping. We hiked up to Upper Falls and that night was so like scary for me that I always thought like, what was that? Because we did open up the tent and we did the flashlight and we noticed that we saw something walking into the wood line, but walking, not like quadrupedal. It was bipedal. And at that point, like I wasn't into Sasquatch, I wasn't into UFOs. I'm not like I wasn't a sci-fi girl at all. And when I got older, like I was more confident in myself, and I felt like, what was that? Like I'm gonna research what that was, and that was very interesting to me. And then I started looking at like Sasquatch stuff, and that's how I got into the Sasquatch community. I started texting like Barbara Shue from Barb and Gabby. She's a wonderful person, and her friends are all wonderful. And she invited me up to her area. So when I went up there, I was thinking like I get to like learn from her, like I could see like tree structures. And I told her when I go up there, like don't show me anything old. I want to find it on my own, like footprints. I want to find it on my own because that way I know it's real. Like I wanted to prove like I wasn't aware that they were true, like they exist. So we went hiking one day, and I remember there was a friend of hers named Sandy, and she said like every time I go to this area, like Gabby will stop and stare at this area. I have to like, come on, Gabby, like let's go this way, and Gabby will just sit and stare at this area. So we were walking with Barb. There was like seven of us, seven witnesses, and Barbara was showing like a tree branch that's been broken or a log or something. She called us over, so we walked up to this area, and then at that point that sense that you feel like somebody's watching you, like that sixth sense that God gives you.
Mm-hmm.
You can see me in the camera. I start looking, and I'm like, I see this like thing hanging off with one hand. It looked like a chimpanzee in the body, but like an alien face with black solid eyes, enormous black solid eyes. And when I looked at it, and it looked at me, it went like oh, like she, like I've been seeing, like type thing. And at that point, when and then I felt bad, like, oh, like, I didn't see you, like, I wasn't even understanding what this was. Like, what are you? Like, right when you see a squirrel or a cat or a dog, immediately your brain says squirrel, cat, dog. When I was looking at this thing, I was thinking, what is this Washington creature? It was very interesting. And at that point, it dropped from the tree. It took 2 steps. It went quadrupedal and just ran out. And at that point, I noticed that there was another one, a black one. And then I thought to myself, oh, like Gabby's chasing it, like, but Gabby was behind me. It wasn't Gabby. She's smart, but she knows not to mess with them. So, that was my first experience, and truly that day changed my life. It was like 9/11, 2014, and I remember just that day, I just said, for the rest of my life, I'm going to dedicate myself to like Bigfoot community. Like I'm fascinated with it, and it helped me with so many things in my life, like be a stronger person, like believe in things, and who cares what people think. Like share what you want to share. Don't worry about what people think, even though it hurts. It does. Be strong and be confident in yourself. I believe. to express your experiences. And who cares if somebody's going to call you a hoax or a liar? People have called me that already, and I really don't care, like, at all. And I'm willing to take a lie detector test, whatever anybody wants to put me through. I've been accused of ugly things, and it's okay. It's like, I know that's part of the community, and it's unfortunate, but there's a lot of wonderful people in the Bigfoot community that I'm so grateful for. I've met wonderful people. My other half is Ed Brown. Love him to death. Like, we would have never met if it wasn't for the Bigfoot community.
Don't brag about that.
See what he said? He said he's not sure about that.
I'm not sure about that. Don't brag. Well, whoever's watching, don't tell nobody. God almighty. That Ed Brown. Who in the world is Ed Brown?
Like, don't let it get to your head. Yeah. So.
Well, he told me earlier.
This experience, honestly, Michael, like, when I went out there, I didn't hear any tree knocks. It's not even squashy there. Like, there's no X markers. The only squatchy thing I could even relate to is a tree, trees toppled over on the path, which is weird. And it's all about 100 feet from each other. 3 big trees, like big ones. You'll see it on the video. But it's just a lot of, crazy thing. I cannot believe what I was looking at. And I was so grateful. I didn't even know my daughter took a video. Like, I had no idea. We got back home, and she's like, "Do you want to see the video that I took?" And I'm like, "You took a video?" I'm like, "Thank you." Like, and she showed it to me, and that was interesting, so good for her. She's 14 years old, and she loves, like, the Sasquatch now. She's like, "Ooh, this is so cool," but there is, I believe that there are some good and there's some bad, and I think you have to be really careful, especially, like, being girls. Like, I think it's something to be wise about. So.
Well, it's a known fact that dogs can be friendly for all their lives, and then one incident turns a dog into a bad dog. That's with any animal. Humans terrify me, but I'm more terrified of humans than I am Bigfoot. But with your daughters and stuff, the experience they had has propelled them into the Bigfoot world, and they have become the future. After we're all dead and gone, they will be the future. They will be the ones out looking for the truth. So, Claudia, I really appreciate your time tonight, and thank you so much for being on my show. Now we're going to talk about how much of a liar you are and a hoaxer and this and that. And
oh, go ahead. I didn't call the drug addict, thief, hoaxer, liar. Like, it's okay. Like, it's not gonna break me. Or, like, I'm gonna keep going forward, be strong. I can prove my innocence to anybody who requests it. So at this point, I don't really care what people think. I'm just here to learn, to help others who want to learn. I'm not an expert. Nobody's an expert. He's an expert.
Oh my God.
Did I just hear you say that you're more afraid of humans than you are Sasquatch?
Yeah.
I'm calling BS. You run from everything. If it's a noise, you run.
I do.
Is that true, Mike?
That is true. I will leave you stranded by yourself on top of a mountain. Ask Glenn Mink.
No.
I thought I heard you say that. I'm like, wait. Did he say he or did he say she? What did he say?
Look at him.
You will pass out.
Oh.
Very intimidating.
Well, he said earlier that the Bigfoot in your video, it's.
It's alright.
He said that the Bigfoot in your video.
You know what the whole thing is? It's like, it's so much fun. Like, this whole thing is fun for me. Like, you have to make it fun.
Exactly.
And you can make it ugly and, like, stressful, but it's your choice. Like, you can make this a great experience or a bad experience. Everything is in your choice. And I believe that I love learning from people when they tell me their experiences, like their encounters. I never judge them, ever, because I'm not one, I wasn't there. Like, I'm not there to judge anybody. And I wish that we would all get along better, but of course it's not a perfect world. But
no.
But thank you, Mike, and I'm really proud of your hard work and dedication. You are so dedicated to this. Well, and I see your son, and I want you to take your son with you when he's older, and, like, share everything that you've learned from him. He's
he's getting to the age now where he will be. All right, folks. Well, we're gonna analyze the video a little bit more. Claudia, thank you and Ed so much for being on here tonight, and God bless you all. We love you, and you all have a great night.
Thank you for the time.
Hey, thank you for the interview.
Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Stay safe. I love you all. Bye.
Bye. All right, folks. So that was an exclusive interview with Miss Claudia Ackley out of California. So check that out. What about that? So it's up to you all to decide now what actually went on that day with her and her daughters. And her daughters are very good kids, and they are actually very truthful, and they're getting into the Bigfoot world now. The video, which I will post on Facebook on Cryptid, Cryptid Research in a little bit when this video gets finished. On the day that this happened, it was April the 4th. And Claudia put on Facebook, "Hello, my sweet family. This is a picture that my daughter took when we were in the woods the other day. My girls did not want to go back into the woods. When we walked around the bend on the path, the three of us looked at the same thing. I'm not going to say it's a Bigfoot, but I'm definitely scratching my head. I did not want to leave, but my girls were terrified, and they come first. Thank you for letting me share this, and you all mean so much." And Claudia is a sweet person. She's always been so grateful and humble in many ways. She's also actually has a video interview with her daughters, and they tell about what they saw that day. And their stories actually back up Claudia's story also, which is very rare with Bigfoot sightings, especially if they're not completely 100% true. And even though most of them are true, two witnesses will tell two different tales. And that goes back to the whole perception is greater than reality thing. What you see and what I see are two different things. So keep that in mind when you're listening to a Bigfoot witness. So Claudia Ackley, everyone, I firmly believe that Claudia saw a Bigfoot that day. And the video she is actually talking about when she was out with Barb Shoop. In the video, the creature in question is very hard to see, and a lot of people say that it was cloaking. Now I don't know a whole lot about cloaking, but I'm going to look it up, and I'm going to do a whole hour-long video about it. So that being said, Claudia Ackley sighting 2017, I think is true. I truly do. I've seen the pictures, and at the end of this, we will show you all too. We're dedicated to saving this and discovering this creature. And actually, in the video, there's a screenshot right here, so we're going to go ahead and save this and let that be it. And I want to thank everybody out there for watching. Tell your friends, your family, and anybody you know to subscribe. There's great more content coming, and I will be glad to bring it to you. Don't forget, this weekend, April 22nd, 2017, the Paramountain Lectures is going on down in Harlan County, Kentucky at the old Harlan County Train Depot, which is the new Harlan County Extension Office. And you can come down and meet me and get you a Cook Cryptid Research shirt, a Bigfoot lunchbox. Yeah, I said it. And talk to me about any sightings you've had of any kind of cryptid creature, not just Bigfoot. So, thank you folks so much. I love you all, and have a good night.